Hi, it's me, internet celebrity M1 account, aka fan of the website Kotaku 1989. If you're a professional speedrunner like me, you've probably seen silly comments from non-speedrunners. People who have no idea what they're talking about, who think you shouldn't use a certain glitch or whatever. In general, people who are bothered by the way somebody else is playing a video game. One day I got such a comment on my current best run of System Shock 2. I was feeling like an asshole that day, so I actually responded, and long story short, I'll now be doing a speedrun with the following rule set. Hardest difficulty, no glitches or exploits, no melee or psionics. Can't use psionics at all whatsoever, but you can bash windows or objects with melee. I don't need to, so I won't. You're not allowed to die at all. You're not allowed to destroy any cameras. Doesn't even need to be a speedrun. Take your time. Guess what? I didn't need to take my time. It is a speedrun. Kind of. Okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, there we go. Alright, immediately you should notice that I'm strafe running. That's because it's faster than running straight forward. That might not be obvious if you're not familiar with speedruns. In general, there are some other first-person shooters where strafe running is faster. It's not super common, but it's just a known thing. I'm gonna go for Marines, and since I'm mostly gonna be shooting stuff. Having actually run a category now where you go Marines, to be completely honest, so you survive basic training at Camp Lejeune, just isn't as good as Ready Yourself to Feel, but, you know, it's okay. I can live with it. I'm going to go for +2 agility, +2 to standard weapons, and +1 to maintenance, and I can actually get that stat layout if I go Navy, but it's a little bit faster to go Marines because you get agility first, so you move through this little area a little bit faster since you have one more point of agility. Normally, you're supposed to grab the wrench nearby and bash down that vent so you can climb up the ladder, but if you have enough speed, you can just walk up it, and of course if you're strafe running, you can do that. So I did that. Like I said, no need to melee. There's even another wrench in this room I could grab, which is faster to grab than the other one. Again, I don't need it, so I won't be doing that. At this point, I'm just going to be going through the first little bit of Med-Sci to grab some supplies. Some of the supplies I'm getting here are necessary, some of them are not. They're just for safety. This 1 point of endurance is realistically necessary. To give a practical example of how it helps, it brings me from 10 to 13 HP, which means the pipe hybrids, which are, you know, the most common enemy in the early game, no longer one-shot me, so that's pretty good, but that's not really why I'm getting it. The fact is they pretty much never actually hit me in this category, in my attempts at this category. But just a larger health pool in general is going to be good because I am going to be tanking damage from a variety of sources, and the med hypos are going to top me off anyway, so... And it's on to engineering already. I mean, if you know the code, you can just go there immediately.
Find the engine core and reset it. This will restore power to the elevators. I'm getting some kind of strange readings from down there, so keep your eyes open.
And I'm picking up another pistol here. Make a note of that, because it's, well, you'll see. I'm going to go onto the chemical storeroom early, so I can get 2 antimony and 1 vanadium for Toxin A and Hydroponics. And I'm going to step in here and monkey out. Check this out. So that's the power of bursting. Burst mode. Actually, I guess I'll go ahead and explain the significance of the second pistol I picked up, because I just don't know like when an actual good time for that is. The second pistol I picked up is a special pistol that has really low recoil, and it's not the only pistol like that in the game, but I mean, it's obviously the earliest one I can get. Easy 6 bullets, and I'm gonna step in here for some supplies that really are not necessary, but they're nice and safe. The med hypos, in particular, really good to get. Here, I could stay in this room for just a couple more seconds and wait for the camera to cool down, but I really don't need to. And that's slow, so... I didn't encounter any enemies down this hallway, which is pretty common. These laser turrets coming up can tear you to shreds, but if you have armor-piercing rounds in burst mode, you can tear them to shreds. Good stuff. This is a really good example of why a rule that says no glitches or no exploits even, you know, like applied broadly, is not a good idea. You can skip this cutscene, and at the very least it would be considered an exploit. I'm not sure I would necessarily consider the method a glitch, but an exploit, yeah. And that's why it's a bad rule. There's no reason a speedrun category should require you to sit through this cutscene. It's silly. Anyway, I should probably explain... What should I explain? Oh yeah, if you're wondering why I have RoboCop in my splits, it's because I recently rewatched RoboCop, and it reminded me of what a good movie RoboCop is. So I had RoboCop on the mind.
We offer another chance to join us.
Also, I named the category Crybaby because it was inspired by a certain crybaby.
And put you separate from the joy of the mass.
Okay, that's about it. Can't destroy cameras. You actually don't want to hit the alarm here. It's pretty bad. Fortunately, you don't have to wait for the camera to cool down because you can just wait for the doors behind you to close so it won't see you anymore, which is a bit faster. Other than that, I don't really do anything special in this area. I just put in 45 MDEX and get out. The bad thing about tripping the alarm, at least early on in Cargo Bay, is you can actually have a maintenance bot waiting for you at the very end, and the last time I hit the alarm here early on, they were like, I think I had 2 extra shotgun guys and a maintenance bot spawn, so yeah, it's worth taking a little bit of time to avoid. If the camera happens to go off on the way out, it really doesn't matter, but that doesn't really ever happen. Same here, if you just keep running straight here, you have just enough time to get out of the way of the camera. And the remaining laser turret doesn't hit you either, if you just keep running straight out. I equipped my pistol with armor-piercing rounds right here, which is, again, the extra special pistol I picked up. Because a robot can spawn here, and it can often be in a really bad position where you just don't have room to escape its explosion. So you need to be able to shoot it, like, instantly and kill it. So that's why I had my armor-piercing rounds ready. Check out this triple. Burst mode, baby. That's it.
This is Xerxes. The coolant tubes are off limits to all personnel. To avoid possible detention and execution.
I'm going ahead and... Oh yeah, I missed this shot. Excellent. Check this out. SMH. S-ing my damn H. Because I missed the shot. Anyway, I wanted to use some anti-personnel rounds there on the pipe hybrid and the shotgunner hybrid if I see him again. Just so I make sure I have some standard rounds left for the beginning of Hydro. Excellent. It's pretty bad that I got shot there because I was at full HP, and it's really safest to have full HP when you're leaving engineering, and you'll see why when I get there. To refresh your memory, you're not supposed to get the key code to that door for like 1 billion years in this game, but I mean, if you know the code, there's nothing stopping you. And
evacuate to the Rickenbacker.
That's engineering, and this guy's still here. Don't forget about him. Oh yeah, I hid behind the wall there for a second to prevent him from doing this stupid thing he can do where he double shots you rapid fire. So he hit me there, but only once, and if I hadn't ducked behind the wall first like that, he probably would have shot me twice really quickly.
I'm detecting massive quantities of some kind of
So, alright, Hydroponics. It's a fun deck. I enjoy it. You saw me get 2 maintenance and 1 research, so now I have a total of 2 research because I just equipped the lab assistant implant. So I'm researching Toxin A, using that, which is obviously a lot faster, you know, doing it with 2 points instead of 1. Grab some armor-piercing rounds. Oh yeah, you're gonna see me do something that's not really necessary here. I'm gonna go check this desk for some shotgun shells, which I don't need, but it's just extra safety and it's not that slow. It's actually faster to get 2 points in research for a total of 3 instead of 1 point for a total of 2. That's actually the most optimal way to do the beginning of Hydroponics, but I'm going to be making a little detour here after I kill this guy for safety. Yes, indeed, I am going to be making a detour into Monkey Town. This part of Monkey Town, you actually need to come to get the key card, so that's not unusual. But I'm going to go a bit deeper. And, I mean, it takes longer, but it's worth it. I mean, look at this. 24 extra standard bullets, 4 med hypos, and a med kit I'm going to get. It's really worth the extra time. I mean, as long, you know, you want to get out of there before Nurse Bloom rips out your spine. Tears out your spine, sorry. Speaking of midwives ripping out your spine, I've got my my armor-piercing rounds loaded, and I'm really cautious here. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look like a speedrun anymore, but you don't know where the shotgunner and the midwife are down here, and if you run into both of them at the same time, it could very well be run over. Because midwives, they can obliterate you. And fortunately, she was in a decent position there. But yeah, that's why I was being super cautious there. And that's it for the cold stuff. That's the first Toxin A dealt with. Grenade launcher, hey, you think I'm gonna use that later? You think I might? Oh yeah, there's pretty much never anybody here, so I wasn't expecting that guy. Alright, so the first part of this area, pretty much all you have time to do here before the camera sets off the alarm is upgrade your weapon to 4, which is what I did. I'm gonna do some other stuff in that room on my way out. Upgrading my weapon there lets me 4-shot Mr. Maintenance Bot with armor-piercing rounds.
Why do you go so slowly? Do you think this is some kind of game? It's only through luck and my continued forbearance that you are even alive. Now.
Oh yeah, you also saw me equip the Swift Boost implant, which, to refresh your memory, again, upgrades your agility by 1. Obviously, that's preferable in a speedrun. I was just checking this maintenance bot position here because I need to go to the middle area here and grab some supplies, and if he's hanging around there, it could be bad. If he was not in a good position, I would basically just shoot him with a couple standard rounds and try to get his attention elsewhere. The alarm going off there at the end can be kind of bad. Usually, a midwife will show up in the last room if you're too slow, so you kind of want to be quick about it.
This is Xerxes. Please report.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention this earlier, but sorry if like the frame rate doesn't look that good. I was recording this at 60 frames per second, and the game was running at 60 frames per second, but like in the video for some reason it looks like 45 or something. Doesn't look quite 30, doesn't look quite 60. I don't know what the deal is. I record games all the time, stream games all the time, and so I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. That last midwife and this one as well, I'm gonna use standard rounds on because, well, I'm just kind of cutting it close on armor-piercing rounds, and also they're just really convenient to kill, so it's not a problem. I mean, look here, I have this wall here, it's just really convenient to take cover behind that wall to make absolutely sure she doesn't laser me. I am definitely going to use armor-piercing rounds on this next one because well, number one, she can be in different positions. I don't know for sure where she's going to be. She's in a good spot this time, of course, so, you know, that's fine. But sometimes she can be in really inconvenient positions, and if she catches you when you're coming down the hallway into this area, I mean, you know, it's such a narrow hallway, you have, like, no room to dodge her lasers almost, and you're coming down a slope, so it's a little bit difficult to control your momentum, which in turn makes it a little bit more difficult to dodge her lasers. So that's how that is. Oh, and my, like, movement keys got stuck there or something. I don't know exactly what was going on, but yeah. That's about it for Hydro. Not a super hard deck. The mid-wides make it a bit risky, but it's fine. Alright. Who's ready for this? I know I am. So, what I said earlier about the unskippable cutscene, well, it is skippable, but I can't skip it in this category. The cutscene in engineering, well, this one's a lot longer. Pretty cool. And, the glitch for skipping this cutscene, and this one actually I would call a glitch and not just an exploit, but, the way that you do it is pretty cool, and it's pretty simple, actually. I'm not gonna explain it right now, but the point is, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal to just have the category be like, well, okay, but you can skip the showdown cutscene. I mean, I know that would be like a real arbitrary category, but whatever, who cares? Do I really have to sit through this multiple-minute-long cutscene? I guess. I mean, it's a good cutscene. I think the story in System Shock 2 is great. That's one of the reasons people like the game, and they should, because it's good. And this, you know, this cutscene is fun. Shodan is a great character, and all that stuff. But I'm speedrunning. This is a speedrun. I've seen this. Oh yeah, I was alt-tabbed, just like browsing the internet, and look at my webcam.
There was a
yeah, I don't know what happened. I've alt-tabbed during this cutscene several times. A lot of times, actually, because I actually, in like 2006 or 2007, I think it must have been late 2006, that's when I first started speedrunning System Shock 2. But at that point, when I was new to it, I didn't bother to learn the cutscene skip for this, so I would get to this cutscene. And I would, you know, alt-tab or whatever while it played, and that's literally never happened. And if you didn't catch it, if you were just like listening to the video and not watching, the cutscene or the game just froze for some reason, like for 10 seconds until I noticed that Shodan wasn't talking anymore, so I went back into the game and it started again. So that's a good time loss, but I don't really care. I didn't feel like resetting, so whatever. Okay, I have to pass the time during this cutscene, so I think I'm going to do some voices. I mean, I was just talking about how I do like the story of this game, and yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan of this game in general, in pretty much every aspect. So I'm going to do some System Shock 2 character voices. I'm an aspiring voice actor here, and this is going to be something of an audition for me. I mean, maybe a bit of limited use, because a lot of people, I mean, you know, people who I would send auditions like this to aren't necessarily familiar with the characters of System Shock 2, but, you know, it's just a little something creative, so Okay, here I go. Here's my first voice.
To the ship's computer. You will help me weaken Xerxes.
Why is it that no one listens to me? The security protocols on the Xerxes system are clearly immature. Some idiot hacked into the primary data loop last night and made Xerxes sing Elvis Presley songs for 3 hours. I finally had to pull the voice subsystem offline. What would happen if somebody with a real agenda got into him? Alright, that was Marie Delacroix. That was one of the first, maybe the first audio log you get for her in the game. I can't recall for sure, but I think that's the first. So it's pretty iconic. Okay, actually, I stopped the voice recording for a second and listened to the recording, and my voice sounded really dry. Oh, it's over? Okay.
My children have
Anyway. Oh yeah, I pick up a maintenance tool there, which I regret because I don't need as many maintenance tools as I get, it turns out. Oh yeah, I got a cool graphical glitch here. I've gotten it several times, so it didn't bother me. It just happens in this room. It's weird. I missed 2 shots here with my armor-piercing rounds, which bothered me a lot more than the graphical glitch, for sure. But I'm only human. A human who's terrible at aiming. Easy 6 anti-personnels. Very, very valuable. One anti-personnel to take him down, and in here you're going to see me come over here and grab a medkit that I frankly don't need, but stepping over to grab it gives me just enough time to get back here with the camera cooled down so I don't trip the alarm, which isn't that big of a deal. If I do trip the alarm, it's not, you know, it's still doable usually, but it can get kind of rough. I actually did lose an attempt to hitting the alarm early here and dying to enemies. So I just figured, you know, I'd take an extra couple seconds and prevent that risk in the future. I am going to end up setting the alarm off here, but, I mean, you know, I delayed it a little while. I took less time overall with the alarm going. I got kind of lucky that I could shoot this guy before he shot me, because I wasn't expecting him at all. I mean, a lot of times, once you hit the alarm on the second camera, nothing will spawn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I wasn't actually expecting that one to spawn. Oh yeah, shotgun. I forgot to mention that, yeah. The shotgun I don't need at all, but it's just like another source of ammo. It conserves my pistol ammo, so there are plenty of good places to use it. Like right here, I one-shot these guys with it with the anti-personnel shells, so it's good. I'm gonna need to drop down to the next level, jump down to the next level, and to avoid fall damage, which is pretty steep, I want to land on the panel here. Nailed it. It's pretty good that I missed that jump after taking all that time to line it up, because number one, it's really easy, and number two, back when this was the any percent route, like before the invincibility glitch, the strat there in the any percent route was to intentionally jump to your death there and put the card in as you were going to your death. But I would actually often make the mistake of landing on the panel by accident. And now I can't land on the panel intentionally. That's pretty sick. What do you think I'm going to do with that? Think I might use my grenade launcher? Oh yeah, this strat here is pretty fun. I can't hack, but I do have an ice pick. Oh yeah, also I have to run in front of the laser turret for a second, because sometimes right after you hack, it'll still shoot you for like a second, so you need to make sure it won't anymore. it was pretty important for me to use my EMP grenades on that security bot because it's placed in a very inconvenient way. I'm sure people who've played the game a decent amount remember that particular robot. I know I do. It's a real asshole move, TBH, putting him there. By the way, you're about to see me do something a little bit peculiar, which is I'm going to now kill the laser turrets. And you may be wondering, well, why didn't you just kill them in the first place instead of hacking if you're going to kill them now? And the simple answer is it's a lot more convenient to kill them on the way out. Several times, actually, I've tried to kill the laser turret in the room before the security bot, and as I'm, you know, killing it, the security bot will decide to come on out, and I'll, like, have both of them shooting at me at once. So it's basically just to prevent anything like that from happening, and it takes very little time to use the ice pick anyway, so it's whatever. Okay, recreation deck. Pretty easy deck, pretty short deck. I actually can't imagine a speedrun category other than, like, all cyber modules or some, like, 100%-ish category that would have you exploring, you know, a significant portion of the rec deck. It's a pretty good deck in terms of, like, optional areas. It's really cool. But I'm not going to be doing a whole lot here. Just clearing out these eggs for safety. I can just hop in and grab the card real quick and hop out. It's a bit iffy though. Speaking of not necessary things, I'm gonna step in here and grab this grenade launcher. I already have one, but I was concerned about, like, you know, keeping up my grenade launcher's conditions and running out of maintenance tools, which was a stupid concern. Speaking of, you know, safety, here's a extra med hypo. Pretty smart thing to get, really. I mean, not for me, because I ended up not needing it, but eh. In general, around this part of the run onward, things are going to get a bit rougher. I didn't actually spend a whole lot of time, like, routing this out or doing attempts of this, because I just didn't want to... you know, I didn't want to put a whole lot of time into basically just doing a thing that some idiot on YouTube challenged me to do. So, yeah, I just did some pretty rough routing. I didn't know exactly how many med hypos I would end up needing, how much ammo, how many maintenance tools I'd end up using, that kind of thing. So, yeah, in the rec deck, I have done some things that are not really necessary, but they are safe. They're nice and safe, and that's good. Because speedrunning is all about safety.
This is Xerxes. Remember, replication restrictions are in place for the goods.
And, yeah, I haven't really explained anything specific because I haven't really done anything unusual in terms of speedrunning, I guess. I'm just going through and doing the things I need to do in the rec deck, grabbing a few extra items, and... Oh yeah, I'm using my proximity grenades here. You can use them basically just like frag grenades if you hit your enemy directly, but their damage is kind of bad, but it's okay because, I don't know, it's just an extra bit of ammo to conserve my other better ammo. And they're pretty quick against the cyber assassins. Right here, I was making sure I knew where the Rumbler was, and I decided here I needed to kill it. If it's in certain positions, it won't notice you when you're coming out of the grav lift, but if it does notice you, which in the position it was, I figured it would, if it does notice you, it'll chase you all the way to the elevator. And you're going to come back out of the elevator later, so, I mean, it can bop you on the way out, it can one-shot you, so... If it wasn't in a certain position where I knew it wouldn't notice me, I needed to kill it. So, a bit slow, but... Again, safety. Free anti-personnel rounds. I could have grabbed some free armor-piercing rounds. Well, I'll talk about that later, actually. It's kind of funny. Alright, command. Command is fun, but it's also actually pretty scary. I can take this guy out a little bit faster later on, but it's also a little bit riskier, just because taking him out from longer range... Well, it's not really faster, I guess, since if I were to take him out in a reasonably safe way, it would have to be from range, which wouldn't actually be faster. So never mind. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this game. I'm already getting rid of that one grenade launcher I picked up. I basically just used it against that rumbler, and then realized, you know, I don't actually need this. So, it's whatever. Took me like an extra 4 seconds to grab or something, so who cares? So, yeah, the command deck is pretty dangerous, pretty risky, so I'm not going to pick up a whole lot of optional items here, but I am going to just take things a little slow in some places, because, I mean, there are a lot of enemies here who can kill you really quickly, and they're in kind of inconvenient places. There's a kamikaze robot around this elevator, and I'm just, like, trying to check and see where it is. I don't want to go around the corner and, you know, see him right in my face. You can just run through here, and the laser turret won't turn around fast enough to hit you. I almost got clipped there. Oh yeah, you just saw I got my heavy skill from 3 to 5, so I'm doing pretty good grenade launcher damage right now. This heavy security bot here, you want to make sure you're using pretty efficient ammo on him, because if he survives long enough to come out into the hallway I'm currently in, well, it's just really hard to dodge his shots. I mean, because they have kind of an AoE. So you want to kill him pretty quick. I used, you know, grenades and AP rounds, so that's good. And coming up is probably the scariest part of the run. Oh! Okay. So, it's very, very rare for that heavy security bot to actually shoot you if you make your way up the ladder really quickly, which I did. But he hit me anyway. That's happened very few times throughout the, you know, like, decade that I've played this game. So I didn't expect it. And I mean, on top of that, I'm already scared when I'm going up that ladder, because the kamikaze robots, the 3 of them, can literally just be waiting for you, you know, right off of the ladder, and you're just kind of stuck there. I actually lost an attempt to that. I mean, it's rare, but it did happen. I'm also, this is like a really stupid looking part of the run. I'm kind of embarrassed by it, because it's been a really long time since I actually came up to these rooms up here, so I couldn't remember which rooms were which. I knew that I needed to grab some grenades out of some of them. I mean, there are really good supplies up here, so it's really good to come up here and grab all these supplies I'm grabbing. Some of them are outright necessary, like these incendiary grenades. But, yeah, I couldn't remember, like, which room was which, so I was just kind of bumbling around. Really good quote-unquote speedrun. If you haven't seen any, like, of the older route speedruns of System Shock 2, by the way, you can... I forgot to mention it at the time, but you can, when you're in that upper area with those 4 rooms, you can actually, like, grab one of the desks you need to get into and grab a card through the window. But that's an exploit, so I can't do that. I have to put in the code instead. Disruption grenades are pretty stupid, but I had some, so I used them. The reason I say they're stupid is because, I'll explain here in a second, this Cyber Assassin is kind of scary, just because, I don't know, like, if you go too far to the right, the rocket turret will start shooting at you, so you just don't really have a whole lot of room to dodge his shurikens. Shuriken. Anyway, the reason I say disruption grenades are terrible is because they have a lower AoE and do worse damage than frag grenades. If you read their description, it says, oh, well, they have a lower AoE, but if you get a direct hit, they do devastating damage or something like that. They don't. They do lower damage. So they're pretty bad, but again, it's something to conserve my better ammo. I mean, they do better damage than proximity grenades, so there's that. I actually have a theory about why disruption grenades work the way they do, but I'm not gonna say it right now. I'll save it for later. I'll save it for a special occasion. It's not gonna be in this video. So anyway, what am I doing right now? I'm going back to operations to hit a switch, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of a weird moment of backtracking in this game, but it's actually really convenient, and you'll see why. Well, it's convenient for me in this particular instance. Like, right here. If the Rumbler follows you all the way to the elevator, he'll be waiting for you right here, and he can just slap you in the face, and it's run over. Sometimes the elevator door will already be open, and it's convenient, but I never expect it, so I always reflexively try to hit the switch anyway. Alarm went off, who cares? I am gonna need to do some really technical stuff later on in the run. I don't mean technical, I mean technical, which is why I'm getting some hack and some cyb, and I realized I had enough cyber modules for another hack, so I got 4 hack, instead of 3 like I did in my practice attempts. I think the reason for that is just that I got 1 research, whereas in most of my practice runs I was getting 2. I almost wormed out right there. This part's really fun. If you haven't seen any of the older route, any percent runs of System Shock 2, this segment right here was like my favorite part of the run. Unfortunately, it is now obsolete and does not need to be done anymore, which is why I've still like thought about various different categories I might run. I mean, you know, Cubeface has done inbounds runs, which I think is good. It's a fair enough category, and that's pretty much just the old route we used to run is inbounds. Anyway, in this category, the segment is vastly different, though it is still fun in its own way. I pretty much have to snipe this security bot here because, I mean, it's just a long stretch of hallway. I could dodge its lasers. I mean, if you're a super veteran at this game, you know what it is, what it's like to bash a white security bot to death with your wrench, but it's not fast, so I'm not going to do that. Not to mention, it's quite risky. I can do it, but I'm not afraid to admit that I can't do it every single time. Plus, obviously, I can't use a wrench. I'd have to use my ammo, which would be stupid. Alright, check this part out. Pay attention. One of them survived. It's very unfortunate. I was, no joke, literally thinking about resetting because one of them survived and it looked less cool for one of them to survive. That's never happened, actually. They usually all die. Oh well. Did you see that? Fully upgraded grenade launcher. And 5 heavy skill. It's pretty good, huh? It's pretty devastating. And that allowed me to do that to those laser turrets.
Our will creates a wall to block your progress.
Oh my god. Forgot about that. I wasn't, like, paying attention when I got off of the tram. So, of course, there was a kamikaze bot right in my face. I'm just purely lucky he didn't explode on me right then. Anyway, I'm here to fight everyone's favorite Russian, Anatoly Kerenchkin. And to refresh your memory on how Psy Reavers work, the squid is just an illusion. You gotta destroy the brain and then destroy the squid. But nobody said anything about damaging the squid first. So that's what I did. Just give him a little love tap with one grenade. And now I'm gonna give him another grenade on the way out. I realized I was dodging the rocket there incorrectly, so I had to adjust myself. Anyway, the reason I do that, the reason I hit him once on the way in and once on the way out, is not only just because it's faster, because, you know, you don't have to stop to wait for your second shot, but because before I've had the squid just waiting for me right outside of the grav lift, and they can shoot you really quickly, and their projectiles go really fast, so I basically just didn't have time to dodge his shot when I was coming down the grav lift, and that was it for me. So, you want to be able to shoot him once and kill him when you're coming out. Alright, Rickenbacker. I was having some trouble with this guy. Okay, I used a speed hypo here to just dash up the ladder real quick because I don't want those turrets to kill me. I have hacking skill, so I could hack those turrets, but that would be really slow to hack 3 turrets. So I just dashed past them. On the other hand, I'm going to do something very slow here, but it's... I don't know if it's necessary, but I didn't bother to try to figure out a better way. Because it would be risky no matter what. I'm just going to set up here and dump inefficient ammo on these guys. Fortunately, this heavy security bot and the Rumbler pretty much always group up, at least for a little bit, so I was doing pretty good damage between the two. I don't really have much use for the shotgun from here on out, so I figured I'd go through my ammo on this guy. I was also kind of hesitating on what ammo to use here, so... Not my best work, kind of slow, kind of, you know, stupid, but that's me. I must have thought I had my pistol out there because I knew you can't hit the eggs with the shotgun like that. That egg, at least. You know, as much trouble as I've gone through to use, like, spare ammo to save on better ammo, I mean, I benefited some from it. You do have to do some of that in this category, but I just picked up 24 extra anti-personnel pistol rounds. So I kind of have a lot of my good ammo right now. And a lot of the safety stuff I did is just kind of for nothing. Oh well. This guy's an idiot. I won't tell you why, but believe me, there is some very hard evidence that that particular cyber assassin is a gigantic idiot. The dumbest enemy in the game, really.
Move quickly.
I was being cautious here because I didn't know where the second midwife was. Turns out she was nowhere to worry about, but... Then I got spooked when I saw her. You know you're a pretty spooky lady when you can out-spook an invisible spider. I don't know if you can hear that on the video, but I activated that laser turret, so I had to hide for a second while it finished shooting. Here's what I got my hack skill for. You ready to watch me sit at a menu? It's really fun. It's really fun. So, this is slow, but it's faster than the alternative, which is killing all of the turrets in the Rickenbacker. There are a lot. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain I don't actually have the armor-piercing rounds for it. I have a lot of armor-piercing rounds. I could almost do it, but I'm gonna need some later as well. So yeah, I don't think it would work out. Plus, I mean, it would be slow. It would be slower than hacking, like I just did. I kill some of the turrets because, well, I mean, it's faster to kill them if they're not online, because you don't have to be cautious about it. But anyway, even then I kill some of them because I didn't know whether or not the alarm would still be off by the time I was coming back. Turns out I did barely have time, but whatever. This turret I killed just because it blocks your shots from hitting the egg. So you pretty much have to kill it. I haven't ever actually tried, but I'm sure if you get right up next to it, you can shoot just barely around it and hit the egg, but eh. See, I've got 15 seconds left, and I'm making my way out. So, I had time, it turns out. Gotta hack again, because I'm gonna be going through more turrets in the next area.
Security system online.
Wasn't having the best of luck with hacking, but could have been worse too. Could have been worse, since I could have had 3 hack like I was used to. Another ice pick. Nice, cool ice pick. See, 3 turrets right there, all in the same room. A rocket and 2 laser turrets. Okay, this is embarrassing though, right here. I don't know why I came into this room and picked up this med kit. I knew I had a ton of med hypos. Absolutely unnecessary. Maybe I was just nervous. I'm just kidding, I've never been nervous in this game. It's been a decade since I've felt nervous in this game. Oh yeah, watch this. What? I've never had that guy shoot at me when I'm on the ladder. Never, ever, ever, ever. I've been playing through this game again and again since like 2006. And I've anytime I'm not speedrunning or something, I'll stay on that ladder and kill that robot. And he's never shot me.
Only one egg remains.
But of course he would do it now when I'm speedrunning.
Are you always this slow?
This jump, okay, what you're supposed to do here, if you don't recall, you're supposed to raise up all of the rockets, and it's like sort of a puzzle, but not really hard enough to be called a puzzle. Anyway, that's slow. If you have enough agility, it was found in the any % speedrun, if you have enough agility, you can just raise up the first rocket and jump straight to the ladder. I found out from attempting this that you don't need as much agility as I thought, so I made the jump work still, but as you can see, it took me several attempts. It's a pretty tight jump with this speed.
Security system offline.
another laser turret and a rocket turret in this room, and I think I'm just going to be passing one more turret, so it might not have actually been worth it to hack there, but I mean, just from the time it would take to actually kill those things, it would be close either way. I don't know why I checked that body. Since this is a speedrun, I decided to get one more point in agility. There isn't really anything else I need at this point in the run, so something to make me run faster. You don't need to take these turrets as slow as I'm taking them, like, you know, the one you just saw me kill. I'm like peeking around a corner. That's baby stuff. That's what I did on like my first playthrough of System Shock 2 and never again. Because you don't need to do that. But I did it this time because I was scared. They can kill you really quickly, and I didn't, you know, I didn't want to have to attempt this anymore, so I just was cautious and made sure I killed it properly. I like this room. I came up with a really technical strat for it. Check this out. Get this idiot turret out of the way. I need one more in heavy, and look. The rumblers can't do anything to me when I'm standing up there. I wanted to grab some safety disruption grenades, but the rumbler that's standing next to them can bot me pretty easily, so I found that if I just stand up on that platform for a couple seconds and hop off, they won't do anything to me for a little while. It's nice and safe. And I mean, they can't get up there, so... Alright, this is it, boys. Body of the many. Who's ready? Me. I'm ready. I wait here for a couple seconds after killing that Psyreaver because Psyreavers can actually still shoot you even after you kill them for 1 or 2 seconds, which is pretty sweet. It was really good to find that out the hard way. I mean, you know, they're psychic projections, so I can suspend my disbelief. This table is really stupid. It's really easy to get caught up in the, like, geometry here. If you can't tell, by the way, I'm using my speed hypos right now. I could have used speed hypos a lot more throughout the run. Actually, before the invincibility glitch was discovered, the any % route, I mean, you know, even though you weren't invincible and you could easily die, I used a lot of speed hypos in that, as did the person who previously held the record for that. I mean, it was just risky. We just took the risk, but I really didn't want to in this run, so pretty much the only time I used speed hypos was earlier in the Rickenbacker, which you already saw, and just now when I was in the water. I mean, you know, it's not risky at all to use it in the water. It's just only a good thing there. Anyway, it took a bit of time to kill that rumbler, but he basically blocks your path if you don't kill him. I really stupidly came over to grab these safety frag grenades. I already had a lot, and I don't need as many as I already had even, so I really don't know why I even picked those up. Hey, remember when this shot was relevant? The Teethy's room shot? I do. If you're not in the know, this shot used to be part of the any % speedrun route, so I've done it a billion times. Even though it's not relevant anymore. Yeah, I mean it is now in this category. That's why this is the better category, TBH. There's like an invisible piece of terrain here, which is why my frag grenade just exploded on nothing. And I don't know what I was doing there when I like turned around. Whatever. This idiot rumbler in this room, he'll usually like stand in the doorway and just like block you. Even if you shoot at him, he won't even aggro to you for like 10 seconds and it's retarded, but this time he ran right out, so Right here, I show you why I wanted maxed out heavy. Because now I can one-shot Cyreavers with my incendiary grenades. And that's really important for this part. It makes this last part so much easier. It's stupid. I mean, it's not stupid. It's cool. It's really, really difficult to dodge the Cyreaver's attacks in this area, like nigh impossible to deliberately do it, so I was nice and careful taking them out.
The end is near.
I shot. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. At this point, I've pretty much already beaten the game. I've pretty much completed the run. Shodan's memories are no trouble. Spoilers. Sorry to prematurely kill the hype. There's gonna be hype for this run, right? People are gonna care about this, right? At this point, too, I can one-shot the cyber assassins here with frag grenades. I probably could at 5 heavy as well, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure I couldn't. Whatever. Maybe with a maxed out grenade launcher.
Make yourself comfortable. Before long, I will decorate my home.
Nothing really to say about this part. It's just doing it. If I were using a different version of the game, I could actually kill Shodan the way I'm about to kill her with fewer points in heavy. But it doesn't really matter since I needed the heavy for Body of the Many anyway. I beat her. I did it. I shot an extra EMP grenade into the ground based on a different strat I had used in the past, and I was just like going by muscle memory. That's it. I guess that's about it. I did it. Beat the game. 5621.62. It's not very good, actually. You could probably literally get sub 50. Oh well. Who cares? If you run this category, you're an idiot. If anybody beats my time in this category, I'm gonna take it back. So don't even try. What parting thoughts should I have? Well, CubeFace21 got the world record back like a week ago. Previous world record holder was Big Gem. So if you like System Shock 2 speedrunning, you should check out CubeFace21 and Big_Gem_. And that leaves me in 3rd place. So I'm pretty much irrelevant to speedrunning at this point. Oh well. What else? Oh. Silverbolt Coyote. Stay out of trouble.
Form well for an insect. Transmitting cyber modules.